Hi guys, welcome back. We're really doing this. This is week 3 and we couldn't have done this without you. Thank you so much for always tuning in, listening to our audios and always watching our videos. This means a lot to us. And guess what? I've been meaning to ask you, how was week 2? Were you able to show enough kindness? I mean, it's tougher than it sounds. Mine was a bit tough, but I tried my best. How about you? Were you kind every day? So today we're talking about love is not selfish. And Romans 12:10 says, be devoted to one another in brotherly love. Give preferences to one another in honor. Selfishness and love are in constant opposite to one another. While love asks us to deny ourselves for the sake of someone else, selfishness is like a disease that suffocates our capacity to love. When we choose self-centeredness, we become high maintenance, more needy, overly sensitive, demanding. And then, when we don't get our way, we judge others harshly while being blind to our own fault. Sadly, we live in a world that is enamored with self. The culture around us teaches us to focus on our personal appearance, feelings, and desire as the top priority. We despise these traits in other people but justify it in ourselves. I deserve and I expect and I want appetizers we use to feed selfishness. Regrettably, these selfish tendencies are ingrained into every person from birth. You can see it in the way young children act and often in the way adults use and mistreat one another. Almost every sinful action can be tracked back to selfish motive, and its dangers becomes painfully apparent once inside a marriage relationship. Marriage exposes our selfishness in living colors. When a husband puts his interests, desires, and priorities ahead of his wife, he is flying a flag of his own selfishness. When a wife constantly complains about the time and energy she spends meeting the needs of her husband, she is revealing her selfishness. Moodiness and complaining are selfishness in disguise. Laziness and irresponsibilities are other masks it wears. Boasting and bragging, being easily angered, talking too much, never listening. The list goes on and on. Even generous action can be selfish if the motive is to gain bragging rights or receive a reward. In reading this, did you focus just now on your partner's tendency to do some of these things but ignore your own? Why do we have such low standard for ourselves and yet such high expectation for our mate? The answer is a painful pill to swallow. We all struggle with selfishness. The bottom line is this: you either make decisions out of love for others or love for yourself. But love does not seek of its own. 1 Corinthians 13:5. It beautifully finds its satisfaction in the welfare of others. Loving couples in loving marriages are bent on humbling themselves and taking good care of the other flawed human with whom they have chosen to share their lives. They understand that by getting married, they are giving themselves away and releasing the rights to live the rest of their lives for them. It is putting the happiness of their partner before their own. Choosing to love your mates will cause you to say no to what you want, so you can say yes to what they need. It doesn't mean you cannot enjoy any personal fulfillment, but you don't negate the happiness of your spouse to enjoy it yourself. Love also leads to inner freedom. It helps liberate you from the anxiety of unrealistic expectations and unmet demands. By prioritizing the well-being of your mate, you experience a fulfillment that cannot be duplicated by selfish action. Unselfish people are a perpetual delight. They make amazing friends and spouses. They are willing to set their own jealousy and demands aside and lose themselves in the joy of loving, serving, and giving to another. Often, this is practiced by simply allowing your mate a few seconds to go first, speak first, or be served before you are. The more you learn to resist your own selfishness daily, the stronger, more lovable, and happier you will become. Nobody knows you as well as your spouse, and that means no one will be quicker to recognize a change when you deliberately start sacrificing your wants and wishes to make sure his or her needs are met. They may welcome it as warmth or be silently suspicious, but they will likely notice it. If you find these days' challenge hard to swallow and are frustrated with the idea of sacrificing your own desire to benefit your spouse, then you may have a deeper problem with selfishness than you want to admit. Ask yourself these questions. Do I truly want the best for my husband or wife? Do I want them to feel loved by me? Do they believe I have their best interest in mind? Do they see me as looking out for myself first or them first? Remember, your partner also has the challenge of learning to love a selfish person, but don't wait on them to earn your love. Determine to be the first to demonstrate real love to them with your eyes wide open. Show them what it looks like by your unexpected example, and when all is said and done, you will both be more fulfilled. Do nothing from selfish or empty conceit, but with humility of mind, regard one another as more important than yourself. Philippians 2 verse 3. Whatever you put your time, energy, and money into will become more important to you. It's hard to care for something you are not investing in. Along with refraining from any negative comments, buy your spouse something that says, "I was thinking of you today." If you listen to the end, how do you feel? Do you feel very angry? Do you feel like you've been a selfish person? Oh well, this is a time to be selfless. One day at a time. Always remember, one day at a time can make you a better person. So till we'll see you next week, try to always remind your spouse that you are thinking of them. Put them first. Get them something to remind them that they are always on your heart. I pray the Lord help you and me. See you next week. Bye-bye.